Hello, my dear friends. If you're in your 50s, 60s or beyond, I want to start by simply saying thank you. Not just for clicking on this video, but for choosing to pause, even just for a few minutes to care for yourself. This video isn't about fear, and I'm not here to make big promises or talk about miracle cures. I'm here simply to have a conversation, like a friend, like a doctor who's worked with older adults across the US for over 2 decades. Today, I want to invite you to stop for a moment and listen, not to me, but to the quiet signals from within your body, especially from an organ that rarely speaks up, your kidneys. The truth is, kidney disease doesn't announce itself loudly. It doesn't knock before it enters. It's quiet, like aging itself. It sneaks in gently, draining your energy bit by bit, until one day it's too late to turn back. But here's the good news. Kidneys don't stay silent forever. They speak, not in words, but in signs. Little things. Changes in your body that are easy to brush off, but maybe cries for help from deep inside. As someone who has walked beside thousands of older adults, I truly believe this. The more we understand our bodies, the better we can protect them. Sometimes, all it takes is a simple test. Other times, it's just paying attention to that morning fatigue you've been ignoring. Today, I'll share with you 15 early warning signs of kidney trouble, messages your body may already be trying to send. And if you recognize yourself in any of these signs, don't panic. Catching it early, that, my friend, is already a victory. Morning puffiness around the eyes. Have you ever looked in the mirror first thing in the morning and thought, I didn't cry last night, so why do my eyes look so puffy? It's easy to blame it on a poor night's sleep, or maybe something salty you ate the evening before. But sometimes, that puffiness isn't just about one night. It's your kidneys whispering that they're having a hard time holding on to something precious. Protein. You see, healthy kidneys keep important proteins inside your bloodstream. But when they're damaged, those proteins start leaking out into your urine. When that happens, the protein levels in your blood drop and fluid escapes from your blood vessels, settling into soft tissues. And where's the skin thinnest and most delicate? Around the eyes. That's why you might notice swelling there, especially in the morning after lying flat all night. I can't tell you how many people I've seen over the years who came in just asking about puffy eyes, never suspecting it could be a sign of kidney trouble. Now, don't get me wrong, sometimes it really is just a bad night's sleep. But if the puffiness keeps coming back, if it's paired with tiredness, frequent nighttime urination, or foamy urine, please don't ignore it. Your kidneys don't shout, but they leave clues. So tomorrow morning, when you look in the mirror, don't just check for wrinkles or grey hairs. Look into your eyes. Not to cover them with makeup, but to listen to what your body might be trying to say. Shortness of breath with light activity. My dear friends, have you ever climbed just a few steps in your own home and suddenly had to stop? One hand on the railing, heart pounding, lungs gasping for air, like they just couldn't keep up? And maybe you reassured yourself, must be my age, or maybe I just didn't sleep well. But sometimes, fatigue like that isn't just aging. It's your body trying to tell you something deeper. Kidney problems can actually make it harder to breathe, not because of lung or heart trouble, but because your blood isn't carrying enough oxygen. You see, your kidneys produce a hormone called erythropoietin. It tells your bone marrow to create red blood cells, but when your kidneys are weak, they make less of this hormone. That means fewer red blood cells and less oxygen being delivered throughout your body, to your muscles, your brain, your heart, and yes, even to your lungs. But it doesn't stop there. As kidneys begin to fail, your body starts to retain fluid. And that extra fluid doesn't just stay in your legs or ankles, it can creep up into your lungs. This is called pulmonary edema, and it makes each breath feel like a struggle, as if you're walking against the wind. So if you find yourself winded doing simple things that never bothered you before, please don't ignore it. That breathlessness might be your kidneys gently asking for help. Breathing is life. And when life starts feeling rushed, strained, or too short of breath, it might be your body's quiet way of saying, slow down, something needs your care. Changes in urination habits. Now I know, This next topic may feel a bit personal, but let me tell you this. Your urine is one of your body's most honest health reports. I often tell my patients, your kidneys may not speak, but your urine certainly does. If you've noticed that you're waking up more at night to use the bathroom, maybe 2, 3 times or more, that's not just getting older. It could be your kidneys struggling to do what they used to do so well. Healthy kidneys are designed to concentrate urine at night so your body can rest. But when they're damaged, they lose that ability, and your sleep starts getting interrupted. Another sign to watch for is foamy or bubbly urine. It may look like beer foam or soap suds, and it lingers. That's not just normal variation. It's a sign that protein is leaking into your urine. Protein that should be staying in your bloodstream, nourishing your body. And then there's urine color. If your urine looks dark brown like cola or has a pink tint, it could be a warning that blood is passing through your kidneys. Another sign that the filter is damaged and letting things slip through that don't belong. I know these conversations can feel awkward, but being shy about urine might mean missing one of the earliest and most obvious signs of kidney trouble. And the earlier we catch it, the more we can protect your kidneys before real damage is done. So, next time you're in the bathroom, don't just flush and forget. Take a moment. No fear, no panic, just awareness. Because sometimes the most important things your kidneys are trying to tell you are simply passing you by. Frequent, severe muscle cramps. Maybe you've felt it before. You're fast asleep, and suddenly you're jolted awake by a sharp, twisting pain in your calf. A cramp, that deep, stabbing kind of pain that feels like your muscles are being torn from the inside out. All you can do is grab your leg, breathe through it, and wait for it to pass. We often blame it on cold weather, or maybe we walked too much during the day. But when these cramps happen often, especially at night, when your body is supposed to be resting, it could be something deeper. You see, when the kidneys begin to weaken, they can no longer balance the levels of key minerals and electrolytes in your blood. Things like calcium, potassium, sodium, and magnesium, names we don't often think about, but they're essential to keep your muscles working the way they should. When those levels are off balance, muscles start to misfire. They contract without warning and create pain that might seem simple, but may be the body's way of waving a red flag. I always say, when your body is in pain, it's trying to speak to you. Don't just silence it with a pill or ignore it with a shrug. Ask yourself, where is this coming from? Is something inside me asking for help? Muscle cramps may seem minor, but they could be the tip of the iceberg, pointing to electrolyte imbalances, circulation issues, or deeper signs of kidney fatigue. If these cramps keep coming back, don't just reach for a heating pad or stretch it out. Consider asking your doctor to check your kidney function, because sometimes one simple blood test can prevent a much more complicated future. Dry, flaky, and itchy skin. There's something I've learned in all my years as a doctor. The skin is one of the body's most honest mirrors. It doesn't just reflect age or weather or how well we moisturize. It often tells the story of what's happening deep inside. Many older patients have come to me complaining about intense, unexplainable itchiness. Skin that's dry as a desert, flaking, irritated, even though they use lotion every single day. And what's worse? The itch doesn't feel like it's on the surface. It feels like it's coming from underneath the skin, like something crawling just beneath, making sleep impossible and comfort a distant memory. We often blame dry skin, allergies, or winter air. But in some cases, the real culprit is kidney disease. When kidneys can't filter waste effectively, toxins like phosphorus and urea begin to build up in your blood. And these toxins don't just stay quiet, they travel. They irritate nerve endings under your skin, trigger low-grade inflammation, and make your skin overly sensitive, dry, and persistently itchy. And that's not all. Kidney disease also lowers important vitamins like vitamin D and B12, which your skin needs to stay hydrated, firm, and healthy. The result? A complexion that looks tired, irritated, and worn out, even if you're doing everything right on the outside. Here's what troubles me most. Most regular anti-itch creams don't help at all in these cases, because the real issue isn't on your skin, it's in your blood. So if you're living with constant itchiness and nothing seems to help, maybe it's time to gently ask your body, is my kidney trying to tell me something? One simple blood test could give you the answer you've been searching for. Persistent fatigue, even after a good night's sleep. There's a kind of tiredness that many of us know too well, the kind that clings to your bones even after what felt like a good night's sleep. It's not laziness. It's not just needing more rest. It's that deep, heavy fatigue, like carrying a wet blanket on your shoulders all day, where even simple tasks feel strangely difficult. When we were younger, a strong cup of coffee might have done the trick. But as the years add up, and especially when your kidneys begin to weaken, coffee just doesn't cut it anymore. Because the issue isn't about sleep or caffeine, it's about your blood, your oxygen, and the life force flowing inside you. Your kidneys don't just filter waste. They also make a hormone called erythropoietin, which tells your bone marrow to produce red blood cells, the very cells that carry oxygen throughout your body. When the kidneys are weakened, that signal fades. Fewer red blood cells are made. Less oxygen reaches your muscles, your heart, your brain. And slowly, your energy is drained away. Not because you're doing too much, but because your body simply isn't being fueled from within. Now, I know that in our 60s or 70s, feeling tired often feels like part of the normal aging process. But I gently urge you, don't accept it too quickly. Because if that fatigue is caused by anemia from kidney disease, it's something that can be treated. You can get your strength back, but only if it's caught in time. So if life is starting to feel slower, heavier, if you're waking up tired and staying tired, don't just blame age. It might be your kidneys quietly asking for attention, and it might be time to listen. High blood pressure that medication can't control. Over the years, I've had many older patients walk into my office with a question I hear all too often. Doctor, I take my blood pressure meds every day, so why isn't it going down like it used to? And I can see the worry in their eyes, because high blood pressure isn't just a number on a machine. It's a silent pressure, building up behind the scenes, pushing against the heart, the blood vessels, and yes, the kidneys every hour, every day. What many people don't realize is that your kidneys and blood pressure are deeply connected. If your heart is the pump that sends blood out, your kidneys are like the valve, managing how much fluid is in that system. When the kidneys are working well, they filter out extra sodium and water, keeping blood volume and pressure in check. But when they start to weaken, they can't filter efficiently anymore. Excess water builds up, sodium builds up, and the blood vessels start to feel that strain, like a balloon slowly inflating under too much pressure. And here's another piece of the puzzle. Your kidneys also produce a hormone called renin, which causes blood vessels to constrict. When kidneys are damaged, they can release too much renin, which makes the vessels tighter and the pressure even higher. So it becomes a vicious cycle. Weakened kidneys raise blood pressure, and high blood pressure damages kidneys further, and round it goes. If your blood pressure stays high despite medication, it's time to stop only looking at your heart and start asking how your kidneys are doing. Because sometimes the key to unlocking better blood pressure isn't in a stronger pill, but in understanding the quiet fatigue of too overworked kidneys. Metallic taste in the mouth, bad breath. Have you ever sat down for a meal and thought, why doesn't food taste the same anymore? The rice is still rice, the fish is still fish, but something's off. Each bite feels like you're chewing on a penny. There's this strange metallic taste, like iron or some weird aftertaste that just won't go away. It may sound like a small thing, but this subtle change in taste can actually be one of the earliest signs of kidney trouble. Here's why. When your kidneys stop filtering your blood efficiently, toxins like urea start to build up in your bloodstream. And those toxins don't just affect your heart or lungs, they travel to your taste buds too, altering how you experience food. Some people describe it as tasting like metal or having just brushed their teeth with salt. Food stops being enjoyable, and slowly you start to lose your appetite without even knowing why. Along with the taste changes, you might also notice a persistent bad breath. A strong, ammonia-like smell that doesn't go away with mints or mouthwash. That's because it's not coming from your mouth. It's coming from your bloodstream. Those waste products are being partially released through your breath. Now, this isn't something to panic about, but it is a gentle knock on the door, a quiet sign that something deeper might be happening. So if meals just don't taste the way they used to, or if your breath smells off for no obvious reason, don't ignore it. Sometimes your sense of taste is trying to tell you that your kidneys need help. Brain fog, trouble concentrating. There are days when you walk into a room and forget why you went there. Mornings when you read the same sentence 3 times and still don't know what it says. Or moments during a conversation when you feel like your mind just checked out. Some folks call it senior moments. Others joke it's just getting older. But sometimes it's something more. This kind of brain fog, that fuzzy, disconnected feeling, can be an early sign of kidney dysfunction that often goes unnoticed. Here's the science behind it. When your kidneys can't properly clean your blood, toxins start to build up, especially urea and other waste byproducts. Over time, these toxins can cross into your brain, affecting how it works. They interfere with brain signals, slow down mental processing, mess with memory, concentration, even mood. There's a medical term for this, uremic encephalopathy. Sounds complicated, right? But what it feels like is familiar. Foggy thinking, trouble focusing, feeling mentally off without knowing why. Now, of course, aging does bring changes to memory. But if this mental cloudiness feels too strong, too frequent, or comes on too suddenly, don't just write it off as getting older. It might be a sign that your kidneys aren't doing their job. And the good news? If it's caused by kidney-related anemia or toxin buildup, it can be treated. Sometimes, all it takes is a simple blood test to start the path back to clarity. Because memory is one of the most precious things we have as we age. So if it begins to fade, gently ask your body, are you okay? And maybe, just maybe, the answer lies with your kidneys. Unexplained weight loss and loss of appetite. Have you ever sat down at the table, looked at your favorite dish, something you used to crave just by smelling it, and felt nothing? No appetite, no urge to eat. And then, slowly, people around you start to notice. Have you lost weight lately? You look thinner than before. At first, even you might not notice it. It happens gradually, like a quiet breeze slowly pulling energy out of your body. When we're in our 50s, 60s or beyond, it's easy to assume that a poor appetite or losing a few pounds is just part of getting older. But sometimes it's your body reacting to something deeper, like your kidneys starting to weaken. When your kidneys can't filter waste properly, toxins like urea build up in your bloodstream. These toxins don't just stay put, they start affecting your brain, especially the areas that control hunger. Hormones like ghrelin, which make you feel hungry, get suppressed. Inflammatory chemicals increase, confusing your brain into thinking, I'm full, even when your body is starving for nutrition. The result? You eat less, you lose weight, your muscles shrink, your strength fades. And sadly, this malnutrition can actually make kidney disease progress even faster, creating a silent cycle most people don't notice until it's too late. So if you find yourself losing weight without trying, or you just don't enjoy eating the way you used to, pause for a moment. Ask yourself, could my kidneys be calling for help? A simple blood test or a short visit with your doctor might be the first step to getting your appetite and your energy back. Swelling in feet, ankles, or even hands. Have you ever noticed that shoes that fit yesterday suddenly feel tight today? Or maybe when you take off your socks, there's a deep line around your ankle, almost like your skin forgot how to bounce back? Some people think it's from standing too long. Others blame circulation or the heart. But often, it's your kidneys that are quietly struggling behind the scenes. Kidneys aren't just filters for toxins. They're also master balancers. They control how much water and salt your body holds onto. When your kidneys are working well, they remove the extra fluid through your urine, keeping your body in balance. But when kidneys are weakened, that process slows down. Excess water and salt begin to accumulate, especially in the lower parts of the body, like your feet, ankles, and even your hands. At first, it might just feel like a little heaviness, or your socks leave a deeper mark than usual. But over time, the swelling can grow, making walking uncomfortable, rings feel tight, and shoes harder to wear. It's easy to shrug this off as just part of aging. But if the swelling keeps coming back, especially in the evenings, with no clear reason, that could be your body's quiet way of saying, the kidneys are under pressure. Swelling isn't always painful, but it is a silent signal, a clue that something important inside you is fighting to keep up. And sometimes, just one early checkup is all it takes to turn things around, before that silent struggle becomes something more serious. Frequent nausea or upset. Stomach without a clear cause. There's a kind of discomfort that no one wants to deal with, that feeling of nausea or queasiness, especially when it shows up for no obvious reason. It's not from eating spoiled food. It's not food poisoning. It just lingers, off and on, like a quiet undercurrent beneath everything. And when that feeling doesn't go away, when it's paired with a loss of appetite or a sense of, I just can't stomach food anymore, it might be time to look deeper. Specifically, at your kidneys, the two small organs that often suffer in silence. You see, when kidneys become weak, they're no longer able to properly filter out waste from your body. Instead of leaving through your urine, toxins like urea begin to build up in your blood. These waste products don't just stay in your veins. They irritate the lining of your stomach, and they affect your brain's digestive control center too. That's why nausea caused by kidney issues isn't quite like a stomach bug. It's deeper. It disrupts the natural signals: when to eat, when to stop, even when to throw up. The whole system becomes confused. And sadly, this kind of nausea often gets overlooked. We blame it on the food, on age, or just brush it off. But while we're ignoring it, our kidneys might be quietly getting worse. If you've been feeling queasy after meals or losing your appetite for no clear reason, even if the smell of food makes you uncomfortable, don't just push through. A simple blood test could reveal whether this is just a digestive quirk or a warning sign from your kidneys, asking for help before it's too late. Low mood, emotional shifts, or mild depression. There are mornings when we wake up and feel nothing at all. Not sad, not happy, just flat. The world loses its color. The little joys, watering your plants, reading the news, calling your grandkids, suddenly feel tiring, even meaningless. Some call it growing old quietly. But from a medical perspective, I want to offer another way of seeing it. Low mood, emotional ups and downs, or even mild depression, especially in older adults, may not be just a psychological issue. Sometimes, it's your body's way of letting you know something's off. And often, the root of it is in your kidneys. Your kidneys don't just filter blood. They also help regulate hormones and neurotransmitters, the chemical messengers that affect how we feel, think, and connect with life. When the kidneys are under stress and unable to clear out toxins, these substances accumulate in the bloodstream and slowly reach the brain. The result? Sluggish thinking, a drop in emotional energy, and feelings of apathy or sadness that don't seem to make sense. Unfortunately, depression in older adults is often misunderstood. People may say, "Oh, you're just overthinking. It's just age catching up." Or worse, they assume you're being negative on purpose. But the truth is, these changes in mood could be your body's biological cry for help. It's not just emotional, it's physical too. So if you've been feeling unusually irritable, withdrawn, or disconnected from things you used to enjoy, please don't ignore it. Don't blame yourself. Talk to a doctor. Sometimes, what lifts the fog isn't a pep talk. It's a simple blood test that helps reveal what your kidneys are going through. Because peace of mind doesn't just come from our thoughts, it also comes from balance in the body. And your kidneys play a far bigger role in that balance than most of us ever realized. Decreased interest in intimacy. There are some things we hesitate to talk about, especially when reaching a certain age. We tell ourselves, that just isn't important anymore. But having spent years caring for older adults as a physician, I know this. Desire doesn't vanish. It quietly withdraws when the body no longer has the strength to support it. One of the often overlooked silent causes behind that withdrawal? Your kidneys. The kidneys play a key role in balancing your hormones, including testosterone in men and estrogen in women. When kidney function declines, hormonal balance shifts too. Desire fades, emotional warmth wanes, physiological responses weaken, and sometimes a sense of distance or self-doubt creeps in. Also, anemia caused by weakened kidneys leaves your entire body fatigued and drained. And when the body is tired, the heart finds it harder to feel stirred, even by someone you love most. Poor circulation, slowed nerve reflexes, and intimacy becomes something distant and difficult. But please, don't accept this as simply getting too old. I've seen that when kidneys get proper care and health improves, feelings reconnect, intimacy blooms again, often like a surprising gift in later life. If closeness in your relationship has dimmed, don't blame age or feelings alone. Listen to your body. Your kidneys may be quietly influencing your heart in both figurative and literal ways. Unexplained red rashes or skin breakouts. Some mornings we catch a glimpse in the mirror, seeing a few unexpected red spots or rashes on our familiar skin. We say, "Oh, must be an allergy," and quickly carry on with our day. But as a physician in internal medicine for many years, I've noticed something few people do. Sustained rashes or unexplained skin changes, especially when persistent, can be a silent plea from your kidneys. When kidney function weakens, toxins like phosphorus, urea, and nitrogen compounds don't get filtered properly. They build up in your bloodstream, and one of the earliest places they show up is on your skin. Your skin, meant to protect you, is now bearing the burden of those toxins. You may see irritation, rash, even minor ulcers or infections. The itch might feel like it's coming from inside you. Scratching only helps so much. Clinical studies show that up to 90% of chronic kidney disease patients experience inflammatory skin reactions. Not because their skin is fragile, but because their kidneys are overburdened. This isn't just a cosmetic issue, it's a mirror of internal health. So if your skin, once healthy, suddenly becomes red, itchy, or blotchy, don't just grab an over-the-counter cream. Check your kidneys, because sometimes your skin is raising the alarm in your place. Dear friends, if you've stayed with me through this video, I know something is stirring in your heart. Perhaps a worry for yourself or someone you love. Maybe you've noticed tiny signs, fatigue, random itching, subtle changes that come and go, unsettling you, but not enough to grasp fully. I want to tell you this from the heart of someone who has walked this path with older patients for over 30 years. Kidneys never demand attention. They quietly do their work every day, filtering blood, preserving what's vital, and removing what's harmful. But when they weaken, they don't scream. They whisper through small signs. And if we listen early enough, we can still help them recover. The 15 signs we've explored aren't meant to scare you. They're meant to help you listen to your body more attentively and love yourself more deliberately. Because early treatment is simpler, gentler, and far less costly than late-stage interventions. If you recognize just 2-3 of these signs in yourself, don't wait. Please go see a doctor. Sometimes, all it takes is a simple blood test or a urine check to catch kidney problems early, when treatment is strongest. And if this video spoke to you, please share it with a friend or family member over 50. One click could save a kidney. One reminder could save a life. Finally, thank you. Time is the greatest gift a person of any age can give. I treasure your time. It's priceless. I wish you all good health, mental clarity, and a heart that listens to itself. I look forward to seeing you in the next video, where I'll continue walking beside you as a loyal companion in your health journey.